Good day, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. News, events, and stories abound in the state system. ATN's appetite for unbiased, in-depth, and factual reportage is the driving principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. Now let's go through the highlights of today's report. In Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu hosts 200 investors in summit. In Borno State, Ndume says 11 communities have been resettled. Federal government releases 438 billion naira to 34 states and the FCT. And Umahi to remedy failures on East-West Road. Let's go for a short break, and when we return, we head straight to the details for today. Please stay tuned.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't buga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract we will do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap am.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shark beer in our house, I supposed pay that one. You remember say me and tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. Why we don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord? Old man. And they agree give us time. Money can't come now. You won't die. But you said na corruption. Corruption. Not in my house and not in my country.
Sure?
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
And with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
You human
on the point of order.
Honourable you
On them. They are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
With the EU, but
Welcome back, and now let's head into the details for today. And don't forget, we are open for bookings, commercials, and you can connect with us and watch us on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Network. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Two members of a criminal gang who attempted to attack an army unit and collect their arms from Aba, the commercial nerve center of Abia State, have been killed by soldiers in the city. However, during the operation that lasted for over 30 minutes, some innocent passers-by were unfortunately affected during the crossfire between the civilians and the gang. Disclosing this to journalists in Omaha, the special advisor to the governor on media and publicity, Mr. Ferdinand Ekeoma, said that the criminals were doing this is to mop up arms for various attacks in the city, adding that their attempt was rebuffed by security agents who successfully neutralized two of their members. He stated that though the soldiers displayed a high degree of gallantry in their conduct, some innocent passers-by were unfortunately hit by stray bullets. It's not that the criminals are allowed to have a free day. A lot of them are being captured and still being picked up in different places. There is a lot that government is doing to ensure that the security of lives and property in the state. There are certain things you don't disclose to the public. When you pick them up, you carry secret investigations to ensure their collaborators and sponsors are brought to book, he said. An Ekiti State High Court sentenced one Sunday Asere to 14 years imprisonment for sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl. The 24 was arraigned before Justice Adekunle Adeleye on 22nd of March 2022 on one count charge of rape. The charge read that the defendant sometime in January 2020 at Moferere in Ado-Ekiti within the jurisdiction of the Honorable Court did rape a 6-year-old girl. According to the charge, the offense is contrary to Section 31, subsection 2 of the Child Rights Law, Cap C7, Laws of Ekiti State of Nigeria 2012. In her statement to the police, the victim said, "I am a primary one pupil. I am living with my mother, but my parents have separated. Uncle Sunday was our neighbor. Anytime my mother was not at home, he would ask me to lie on the floor and he would remove my pants and insert something in my vagina. I was feeling pain anytime he did it." 13th of January 2020, on the second day, my daddy came to visit me in school, and I told him everything Uncle Sunday has been doing to me. My father later went to report the case at the police station. To prove his case, the prosecutor, Kunle Shina Adeyemo, called 6 witnesses and tendered statements of the defendants and medical reports as exhibits. The defendants presented defense through his counsel, Adedayo Adewumi. He called no witness. Delivering his judgment, Justice Adekunle Adeleye held that the medical doctor, after examination, revealed likely sexual abuse but no evidence of penetration of the vagina. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will today host a selected cast of over 200 investors from around the world at the pre-summit Investors Roundtable in anticipation of the 3rd African Social Impact Summit. The event, scheduled to hold at 10 a.m. at the Echo Convention Center, Echo Hotel and Suites in Victoria Island, will feature investment presentations, a Q&A session, interactive sections, roundtable discussions, and deal rooms for prospective investors ready to sign memorandum of understanding and partnership agreements with the state government. Themed Opportunity Made in Lagos, the Investors Roundtable is aimed at highlighting and showcasing the high impact and ongoing investable projects in Lagos State, particularly in sectors aligned with the summit's theme, namely health, art, culture, creative economy, technology, agriculture, infrastructure, transportation, and telecommunications. Speaking ahead of the highly anticipated event, the Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Folashade Ambrose Medebem, said that by showcasing ongoing investment opportunities and fostering partnerships, the pre-summit Investor Roundtable will contribute to the overall success of Africa's Social Impact Summit and support Lagos State's vision of becoming a vibrant hub for social impact investment in Africa. According to her, the event, among other things, is aimed at showcasing the Invest in Lagos brand by positioning Lagos State as a prime destination for foreign direct investments, local investors, the diplomatic community, and the diaspora, as well as highlighting existing investable ongoing projects within the state. It will also be used to highlight the comparative advantages and potential investment opportunities in the state, including the Lekki Epe International Airport, the 4th Mainland Bridge, Lagos Blue Rail Phase 4, Phase 5, Omu Creek, Lagos Food Systems Hub, and the KITE program. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, explained that this edition of the Investors Roundtable is not another talk shop, but a bespoke gathering dedicated to prospective investors who are ready to make investment decisions right away. We have done many conferences and workshops, but this is the moment of decision for discerning investors, and this event has been specially curated for them. The highly focused Investors Roundtable will bring together diverse groups of local and international investors, policymakers, and business leaders to explore investment possibilities in these crucial areas. It will drive sustainable growth and create a positive social impact in Lagos State. Ahead of the planned nationwide protest coming up in August the 1st, the Lagos State government has declared that such demonstrations are within the rights of citizens, saying there is nothing wrong in it. Bimbola Salu Hundeyin, the secretary to the state government, stated this on Tuesday while meeting with the secretaries to the local government. She, however, cautioned the intending protesters to be wary that the protest does not turn violent and destructive. According to her, even though protests are the citizens' legitimate right, there is no need to protest in Lagos, stating that the state has done well for its citizens. She said it is a legitimate right for citizens to protest, as there is nothing wrong in it, but people should be worried that it does not turn violent and destructive. Lagos State has done so much for its citizens that nobody in the state should stand up and say they are going to break anything. Sincerely, and I mean it, it is not because I am the secretary to the state government. I speak from my heart, and God knows there is no reason for anybody to cause any protests or riots or violence in Lagos State. A senator representing Borno South, Muhammad Ali Ndume, has stated that 11 communities that were ravaged by the activities of Boko Haram insurgents in the state have been resettled. The 10 resettled communities by the state government, according to the senator, are Gwoza, Polka, Limankara, Warabe, Ngoshe, Kirawa, Isge, and Bita. Others are Hambakta, Mudube, Yamtake communities, and he said that the people of Asgar, Shia, Wala, and other communities will also return to their ancestral homes soon. According to a statement on Tuesday in Abuja, Ndume was in Gwoza at the weekend for a house-to-house condolence visit to families of those their loved ones on the 29th of June 2024, multiple suicide bombings. The lawmaker also donated the sum of 10 million naira, while his wife Hajia Mariam donated 3 million naira into a dedicated account of Gwoza concerned citizens to be channeled into the resettlement of Gwoza people and to complement efforts of the Governor Babagana Zulum-led administration. Ndume also thanked those who have contributed their widows' might his account, especially the management of Jaiz Bank. He disclosed had donated 10 million, while the member representing Chibok, Gwoza, Damboa Federal Constituency, Honorable Ahmad Jaha, also donated 5 million naira. Also among the donors, Ndume said we are Dr. Asabe Vilita Bashir, 3 million naira, Engineer Zakaria and Honorable Mohammed Tumala, 1 million naira each, and he said the Emir of Gwoza, Haji Muhammad Shehu Timta, offered his donation alongside many sons and daughters of Gwoza local government area. Particularly appreciates Borno State government under the leadership of Governor Babagana Zulum, who injected huge resources that led to the resettlement of thousands of IDPs back to 10 liberated communities of Gwoza, Ndume added. You're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back shortly after this break. Do stay tuned.
Corruption not in my country.
What you want to buy?
Potato. Small basket. I want plantain. But why your plantain? Inside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make her no buy am. Make her show you something. What? What in be this one? Madam, this one now the chemical where they put on for the plantain make her ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop?
No water, no be chemical.
Water. You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am.
Where that water drink am?
I just stop finish. See my belly. After it don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
Wait, you drink am now. I dey sell am plantain I go come put am for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That one I talk and now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take am.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Driver, why you just a jack us up and down like this now?
I hope nobody carry belly.
Why you ask go?
Because this road where they see so it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just vote for government, but we not get good governance.
At all.
Road so no day. Light usa. The infrastructure we can't talk to be forbidden fruit for the city.
Corruption, well everything. Hello?
Hello, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mrs. Ayeni. I am calling from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Okay. I've been expecting your call.
Madam, remove this your phone from loudspeaker.
Now my phone be like that. Hello?
Are you there?
I hear, I'm hearing you.
Yes. We saw a copy of your invoice for computers, printers, and laptops.
Yes. Are you working on them now?
Ma, the prices you quoted are way too high now.
Madam, sorry, please don't cost.
We found the laptop you said is 1.8 million naira for 600,000 naira.
Hello?
Now my body network there.
I can't hear you. Network is bad.
Madam, we can hear you. Continue.
Hello, I can't hear you. I will call you back.
Their behavior not good now.
Madam, now this kind behavior they kill our country. You suppose do things differently. Make Nigeria for better.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
I don't get a lot. Boy, they won't booga me small. They say, man, give them bribe. I say, nothing. Okay, now, we'll go block later. You remember that contract where we do that time now? They don't pay.
But first, you see the house rent with the old things. We go first call caretaker, take the money, slap him.
Beg, see, you know, say I get annual levy why they pay for club. Where me and boys they shout beer in our house, I could pay that one. You remember say me I tell you I go buy you motor. I go buy now.
Okay, they pay you money now. We don't they beg caretaker? Why would they beg landlord? Old man, and they agree give us time. Money can't come now. You won't divert time. You said na corruption. Corruption, not in my house and not in my country.
Sure.
Corruption not in my country.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
Corruption not in my country.
Kasali, I hope so my car don't ready. I get interview in 30 minutes.
Okay, you don't ready. I just the last minute instruction where you give me yesterday. Now in the cause more delay.
Which instruction?
Maybe now you say make I change the meter, make you no read again.
Which time I make you change meter? Oh, Kasali, why you do like this now? Eh? You don't get sense. You don't read the text message. Nobody I want send them to. Like Kasali, my electrician, make it come house, call me, do my meter so that you don't go to read again. You the electrician?
Your electrician?
Yes, now.
So you call Kasali electrician, make it come help you adjust your meter, make it for no read again, Abi. So you said you want join people where be say they no want they pay NEPA bill again, Abi. Oga, you know good now. You don't use you know they behave like tea, all these stiff people.
Oh, what you change from your motor? What you change from?
Two lights. Repair gauge. Speedometer.
For what now? You for come over home my motor. I better identify for me.
Okay. Oh. Now don't do something we corrupt. Do something come backfire. Now go come they find how to dodge them.
What you talk?
They greet you.
Corruption not in my
This
country.
message is brought to you by the Akin Fadayi Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation,
and with broadcast support from Atlantic Television Network.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable
You're a human trafficker.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
No agreement with the EU, but...
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. And now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has appealed to Nigerian youths to cancel their planned protest and await the government's response to their concerns. Minister of Information and National Orientation Alhaji Muhammad Idris disclosed this while addressing State House correspondents after a meeting with the president yesterday. He spoke amid social media campaigns mobilizing for a nationwide protest slated for between August the 1st and 10th over economic hardship in the country. According to the minister, the president is attentive to the voices of young Nigerians and is working diligently to address their grievances. Mr. President has asked me to inform Nigerians that he listens to them, especially the young people that are trying to protest. Mr. President listens to them and he takes what they say seriously, and he is working seriously to ensure that this country is good and not just for today, but for the future, he said. He said the government was doing a lot to cushion the hardship experienced by Nigerians. Today, the National Assembly has expeditiously passed the bill on national minimum wage. You can't see how the president is working. It was transmitted only yesterday, and today it has been passed. A lot of other interventions that the president has put in place are also going to be looked at expeditiously in the interest of Nigerians. So there is no need for protests. The young people out there should listen to the president and give him more time to see the realization of all the goodies he has for them. The minister said that the highlights of other policies to cushion the effects of the hardship Nigerians are feeling include the distribution of grains and rice by the federal government to state governments. As I said at the time, it is just the necessary first step. Government is going to continue in that direction, assuring that whatever intervention the federal government has put in place will go to those that should benefit. The federal government is looking at strategies that every intervention will go directly to those who benefit from those interventions, not middlemen intercepting them along the way, he said. He added that another important intervention by the federal government was the students' loan. Mr. President is very passionate about it. Everyone that should go to school will have the opportunity to do so. It is no longer a time for our young men and women who have passed examinations to go to tertiary institutions not to be able to do that because their parents cannot pay for their fees. The ministers said that government was also perfecting a scheme to support graduates of universities and polytechnics who are not able to get jobs until they get employed. The whole idea is that no one is left behind. It is an all-inclusive government, and the president is determined to ensure that no one is left behind in this attempt to march Nigerians towards progress, he said. Vice President Kashim Shettima declared yesterday that Nigeria is poised to surpass global economies rather than just catching up in terms of economies and technology. Speaking at the launch of the AI Expertise Blockchain and Technology Training and Outsourcing Initiative in Dutse, Jigawa State, Shettima said that Nigeria's ambition is to lead the world in innovation and economic growth. The initiative, which is part of Nigeria's strategy for digital transformation and leadership in Africa, is set to be replicated nationwide, creating a network of tech hubs driving Nigeria's economic growth for decades to come. According to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Information Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nkwocha, Shettima highlighted the opportunity for beneficiaries to join a global workforce shaping the future through innovation. While in Jigawa, earlier launched the 4th edition of the expanded National Micro and Medium Enterprises Clinic, disclosing that the President Bola Tinubu has ordered that a grant of 150,000 naira should be given to each of the business owners in the state as the federal government's support to MSMEs across the country. He noted that the 150,000 naira grant is an outright grant that does not require beneficiaries to repay. Federal government has released over 438 billion naira in reimbursements to 34 states and the Federal Capital Territory under the Nigeria Community Action for Resilience and Economic Stimulus Program. The Information and Communications Officer of the Federal CARES Support Unit, Suleiman Odapu, stated this in a statement on Tuesday in Abuja. Odapu quoted the National Coordinator of NG CARES, Dr. Abdul Karim Obaje, are saying this, explaining that the funds were disbursed based on the results achieved and FCT during the Independent Verification Agency assessments carried out in January 2024. He stated that from the end results, Zamfara, Nasarawa, and Plateau states emerged as the first 3 earnings with 49 billion naira, 27 billion naira, and 26 billion naira respectively. Obaje, however, said that Kaduna and Anambra states did not present results for verification during the exercise. The national coordinator expressed the hope that all 36 states and the FCT would participate in the 4th exercise scheduled for September 2024. This huge reimbursement is aimed at supporting the state government's FCT in addressing pressing challenges of multidimensional poverty. It will also enable them to deepen efforts at improving the livelihoods and resilience of the poor and the vulnerable segments of the population, he said. Obaje further stated that the resources were targeted at social intervention programs in the states and the FCT. He expressed confidence that the resources will be deployed generously to bring succor and meaningful improvements to the lives of many poor and underserved Nigerians. Obaje thanked the federal government, particularly the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, for the initiative and sterling leadership provided to the program. This, according to him, and the Minister invested heavily in NG Cares. His special Minister, Mr. Yesom Wike, governors and the staff of NG Cares nationwide for the successes recorded so far under the program. The NG Cares program is designed to mitigate the negative impact of socio-economic shocks occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. It also aimed at addressing other shocks through the provision of grants and basic social in poor communities. The focus towards various including social, food security, and small business support, adding that efforts were being made to ensure that the assistance reaches the most indigent and vulnerable Nigerians. The program, which started in 2021, will close by December 2024. Nigerian government has scheduled an emergency meeting on Wednesday in response to a planned nationwide protest slated for August the 1st, 2024. According to a circular signed by the Secretary of the Cabinet Affairs Office, Richard Filangua, dated July 23rd, 2024, titled Planned Nationwide Protest, and it read, I am directed to invite you to attend a meeting with the Secretary to the Government of the Federation on the above subject, stated as follows. July 24th, 2024, time 10 a.m. prompt, and venue, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation Conference Room. The meeting comes after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, through the Minister of Information, Muhammad Idris, pleaded with Nigerians to halt the planned protests. In an interview with State House correspondents on Tuesday, the minister said that Tinubu's administration needed more time to execute people-oriented programs. On the issue of the planned protest, Mr. President does not see any need for that. He asked them to shelve that plan, and he has asked them to await the government's response to the planned protests of hardship in Nigeria and food inflation increased to 34.19% and 40.87% respectively. The implication has continued to impact on the prices of commodities as the purchasing power of Nigerians shrinks. Nigerians had insisted on the protest despite the recent approval of the 70,000 naira minimum wage and its passage on Tuesday by the Nigerian Senate. The protest was inspired by the month-long protest in Kenya, which saw citizens demanding the reversal of the Financial Act and other anti-policy. FCS says the planned protest against President Bola Tinubu's administration is politically pointed is already a rotten country. Mr. Wike accused Nigerians of impatience and being in a hurry to see Mr. Tinubu perform a miracle to fix the nation's breakdown. Mr. Wike stated this on Tuesday while interacting with journalists after an inspection of the Kashi to Apo Road construction project awarded 13 years ago. Let's tell ourselves the simple truth. If we are playing politics, let's say we are playing politics. If we want to be sincere to ourselves, let's be sincere to ourselves and help our country. The country is rotten. You know that the country is rotten, and a government has just come to see what can do to at least remove it from where we are to a certain level. And you say that miracle must be performed. FCT Minister Mr. Wike added that you are talking about a project that was awarded 13 good years ago. What has happened? Nothing. Now the government has come to see how it can fix all these things, and we are in too much of a hurry, demanding that it must be done now. It is not possible. The protest is a political protest. The minister acknowledged that people are unhappy due to hunger and unemployment, pointing out that Mr. Tinubu's government is not responsible for the current level of unemployment in the country. According to him, Mr. Tinubu's administration is working hard to put things together, which will take some time. The minister said, so let's not listen to political protesters and political jobbers who just want to be popular. You know, they don't realize they will not be popular. To elections very soon. These are political gimmicks. Just know that government is working to solve the problem. We believe that things are around, but we be patient with the government. Nigerians in some sections of the country have planned to embark on a week-long protest over hunger and insecurity. While some groups and individuals have distanced themselves from the planned protests, others insisted that it must be held to draw the attention of the government and the international community to the sufferings of Nigerians. Senate has approved 70,000 naira minimum wage for Nigerian workers. The bill, which scaled through the 3 stages of legislation, was approved a minute after it was transmitted to the Senate by President Bola Tinubu for immediate passage by the upper chambers. This is coming after President Bola Tinubu recently announced 70,000 naira as minimum wage for workers in Nigeria following several meetings with the organized labor. Correspondent Dewi reports.
The piece of legislation seeks to raise the country's minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 70,000 naira and to effect a review of the law after 3 years instead of the initial 5 years. While leading the debate on the bill, Senator Kwame Bamidele said the 70,000 naira was agreed upon by all parties after negotiations.
In response to the agitations and after a series of negotiations between the federal government and the organized labor, the current national minimum wage of 30,000 naira only has been reviewed upward to the sum of 70,000 naira only. This is part of the federal government's short-term measures to mitigate the situation in the country, as efforts are being made to bring about long-term solutions that would align with the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians and bring succor to the country generally.
However, in his view, Senator Tai Mangono, the chief whip of the Senate, said there is a need to review the minimum wage in line with the economic realities in the country.
And highly commendable. And then the second aspect of increasing the minimum wage from 30,000 to 70,000 is equally very, very germane and apt, especially against the backdrop of the effect of the removal of subsidy, which has brought about a corresponding increase in the prices of goods and services. So there is a need to review the minimum wage to bring it in tandem with realities that is prevalent in the society.
In an unanimous vote, after a close consideration of the Committee of the Whole, the National Minimum Wage Bill scaled through third reading and was passed.
A bill for an act to amend the National Minimum Wage Act 2019 to increase the national minimum wage from 30,000 to 70,000 and to reduce the time for periodic review of the national minimum wage from 5 years to 3 years and for related matters 2024. Third reading taken and passed.
The national minimum wage will become effective after President Bola Tinubu has stepped to it. Rotimi Adebuyi, ATN News, Abuja.
The Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPCL, Mele Kyari, said that he does not own a blending plant outside the country. This is in reaction to claims that some officials of Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited have blending plants in Malta. Reacting in a post on his ex-handle, Kyari said that he has been inundated with calls from family members and friends asking if he truly owns a blending plant in Malta. Kyari stated that he does not own or operate any business directly or by proxy anywhere in the world except a local mini agricultural venture. He also said that he is not aware of any employee of the NNPC that owns or operates a blending plant in Malta or anywhere else in the world. I am inundated by inquiries from family members, friends, and associates on the public declaration by the president of Dangote Group that some NNPC workers have established a blending plant in Malta, thereby impeding procurement from local production of petroleum products. To clarify the allegations regarding the blending plant, I do not own or operate any business directly or by proxy anywhere in the world, with the exception of a local mini agric venture. Neither am I aware of any employee of the NNPC that owns or operates a blending plant in Malta or anywhere else in the world. A blending plant in Malta or any part of the world has no influence over NNPC's business operations and strategic actions. The NNPC boss threatened to sanction any official of the NNPC involved in such acts if they truly exist. For further assurance, our compliance sanction grid shall apply to any NNPC employee who is established to be involved in doing so if availed, and I will strongly recommend that such individuals be declared public and be made known to relevant government security agencies for necessary actions in view of the grave implications for national energy security, he stated. Kayode Egbetokun, Inspector General of Police, says that the police will manage the planned nationwide protest in the most professional manner. Egbetokun spoke in Abuja on Tuesday during a meeting with strategic police managers, which included officers from the rank of commissioners and above. There have been reports that some Nigerians under different groups are planning a nationwide protest between August the 1st and 10th against the rising cost of living and the economic hardship in the country. The IGP said that the police are committed to ensuring the protection of citizens during the demonstration. He said that maintaining law and order during the protest would not be difficult if the protesters remain peaceful. Egbetokun added that the right to protest is inherently a right to peaceful protest. So we are prepared, and I want to assure you that we will manage the protest in the most professional way. The press quoted Egbetokun as saying that if the protest is peaceful, you will see us protecting the protesters as long as they remain peaceful. But we have a duty to protect lives and property, so we will not sit back and watch hoodlums burning down facilities in the name of protest. So we are not against the peaceful protest. We will support peaceful protests by protecting those who will engage in peaceful protests. No civilized society will tolerate violent protest. Violent protest is criminal, but peaceful protest is a right. He urged Nigerian youths to shun those instigating violent protests, adding that some individuals have been calling for an imitation of demonstrations in Kenya. As part of measures to end perennial pavement failures on East-West Road, the federal government is redesigning the inherited ongoing project using reinforced concrete technology. Minister of Works Dave Umahi stated this during his visit to the project site on East-West Road Section 2. Kayama to Ahoda in Rivers Bayelsa State. The construction of multiple box culverts at flood-damaged locations along the dualization of East-West Road, handled by Messrs. Rock Results Nigeria Limited, and the dualization of East-West Road, Section 1, Subsection 2, handled by Cetraco Nigeria Limited. He said some sections of the East-West Road, starting from Lokoja to Benin, were also rescoped and redesigned in reinforced concrete, and that the height of the road was increased above the flood level. According to him, the redesign factored the environment and soil characteristics which were responsible for the failures of flexible pavements used over the years by successive administrations. On the Kayama-Ahoda section, he said, when we came on board, the job was minute. So the only new thing in all these locations under President Tinubu is the relief culverts that these two local contractors are putting, and they are proving themselves to be of a very high reputation in terms of their works. We are encouraging many more local contractors to come and work because there is so much work to do, he said. Umahi observed that the impact of climate change was largely responsible for the floods that came over the two sections, but commended the two contractors handling the relief culverts for their deep commitment to the intervention work despite having not been paid. So our directive is that the contractor shouldn't open more relief culverts. Let us contain the floods by working with the Niger Delta Development Commission. And I commend the managing director of the NDDC for the fantastic work he is doing. He said he thanks Rock Results, who also did emergency works, even though it's outside the scope, and the 29 Battalion with other paramilitary outfits for the management of traffic, which he said will continue for the next 2 to 4 weeks. While seeking for patience on the side of the road users, he assured that a permanent solution was underway at the road above the flood level, while reinforced concrete of 12 inches will be used to do the overlay. In a statement, the minister, who also visited kilometer 15, section 3A of the East-West Road from Eleme Junction to One Port Junction, handled by Messrs. RCC Nigeria Limited, commended the quality of work being done, but urged the contractor to remobilize at least in 6 sections of the project to ensure timely delivery or be prepared to relinquish the other carriageway for award to another contractor. While reacting to the statement credited to a clergyman, Buba Isa, on the state of some federal roads, the minister reiterated the commitment of the Renewed Hope administration to fix all the inherited ongoing projects and backlog of road infrastructure deficits nationwide by many years of neglect, while commending President Tinubu for the glaring difference in road infrastructure under his administration, which road and understanding as enduring solutions to road failures had been reinvented by the Renewed Hope administration, and very soon Nigerians will enjoy sustainable infrastructure delivery. And viewers, this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Raymond on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic TV Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Net 1, on X, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, and watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,